And even though wellness in itself, its approach has good intent. But unfortunately, they try to address more of the reactive part by providing solutions such as here's a yoga class, here's a meditative class, oh, here's a wellness challenge you can participate, biggest loser challenges, right? Oh, here's a food nutrition classes. So these ad hoc workshops, webinars, or even they're scheduled and created for the population may be well intended, but unfortunately, they do miss the mark a lot because what we're missing on is the cultural aspect, the core of your organization. Does your culture support employees who have medical needs, who have parental needs? Does your leader state, yes, we publicly support you, and if you need to take time off, please do so. We have policies around that. Are there policies around remote work, hybrid, flex schedules? Do they have policies on extended care for paternal, for new dads, not just new moms, but new dads as well?
You're pulling out an issue that I would really love to dive deeper into, and that's we often get into a situation, you're overworked, you get a lot of things to do. You get an insurance provider, they have their EAPs, they have their structured portals, you can log in, you get access to your yoga class and it's almost like a checkbox that is done. But correct me if I'm wrong, what you're saying is actually wellness needs to be part of the mission of the organization and in the culture. So it's not just setting up courses, not just setting up locations where people can access support, but it's really helping to develop that in a cultural sense, so kind of weaving it through the organization. Can you elaborate on how do you do that? Because I think everyone would understand is like they want to have a program that's robust. They want to have a program that, of course, is affordable, and they also want to have a program that is flexible, adaptable, and accessible to their employee population. And I feel it often stops there because they may sign up for an organization that can provide all of that, and they send out a newsletter or they send out a intranet link to their employees via email and say, here's this great, awesome resource, go ahead and use it. But then if they're not tracking most often, but if they are tracking, they find the population of their employees. Like one organization we're talking to, they do BMI tests every year. They go through population, they do one-on-one coaching for health and nutrition. And what they were saying is very interesting is that often these amazing programs are put together, but nobody knows about them. They go through the struggle, and then at the end of the day, they're like, "Oh, I wish we had this." And the HR is kind of pulling their hair out because, like, we do, and we told you about it, but you never used it. So if we could dive into that integration aspect, and from your experience, could you share some insight of like what makes that successful? How can you make integrating wellness into the corporate culture and make sure that people are actually not only just using these programs, but they're helping them to thrive at work?
Absolutely, Michael. And it's a multi-pronged approach. There is no one clear set solution for for each organization because there's so many different variables involved. But commonality that we do see is one, leadership, leadership, and leadership. In any industry, regardless if you're private, public, or higher ed, leadership is key in the buy-in aspect. But we also understand too, leadership is also humans just like us. They have challenges and difficulties with their health and wellness as well, whether it's at home or whether it's at work too. So understanding that, usually what I would do, and I've done in the past that's successful, is do a survey. Do a leadership well-being survey, and then do an employee well-being survey. Because what you want to capture is how is leadership approaching their own well